Okay, let's start then. So, welcome again, everyone. Welcome to our live webinar. In this webinar, we will be discussing about our final step of the app building process, which is how you can create APK and IPA files on Twinr. And finally, at the end, you can submit it to App Store and Play Store accounts. Now, in our previous webinar, we discussed about how you can create an application, step-by-step process of creating an application. And also we had covered some of the effective customization tips and tricks that you can apply to your application to make it more user-friendly. And you can remove some of the chances that applications can get rejected by App Stores and Play Store, right? So now with this webinar, we will be completing all the steps required to build an application on Twinr finally. Okay, so before we start, I would like to announce again our giveaway winners from the last webinar, which is Jim Johnson and Sienna. So congratulations to both of you. You must have got an email from us. And again, in this webinar as well, we will be giving away few lifetime deals. So mainly you can participate using based on your engagement here, commenting out about Twinr, providing some of the good feedback about Twinr. It can be again anything, right? Your honest feedback, I would say, and give us some reviews on some of the platforms that we are currently live on, G2 or Trustpilot or Product Hunt or any other platforms. Okay, so that's pretty much it. And here today I'm want to announce our new feature, which is auto generate Android signing key. So until now, a lot of our customer requested and they had problem creating Android signing keys, right? So now we have automated this process. That means you don't need to create Android signing key from your side. You can directly request a new key on Twinr and it will be automatically uploaded to your application account, and plus it will be applied to your application build process as well. We will discuss about this feature more while I'll be doing a demo there, but for now, yeah, this is our new feature and it's already live right now. Okay, so as an Android build setup, we will be discussing about how you can create a package name, right? So these are the steps basically that how before you request an Android build, what you should complete here, right? So the first thing is that you should enter the Android package name. Again, we will discuss about it in detail. The next step will be to publish app changes to production, right? So if you have seen that we have published to production button in the portal, you just need to click on that and verify that you are ready to publish your changes to the production. Then after, you need to set up Android signing information. As I said, that it's automated now. So even if, for example, if you have an existing key that you want to use, you can use that as well. If you want to request a new one, you can request a new one as well directly on the platform. And then after, finally, you will be able to request a new APK file, Android build file, which will give you two different files, APK file and AAB file, right? And the next step would be to upload it to Play Store and your setup metadata information, and then you are done. You are ready to publish and release your application for the production users finally. Okay. Now, similarly for the iOS, you first need to create a bundle ID, right? For the iOS, this is one of the required step for iOS, which is not required for Android. You don't need to create it beforehand. Then after, you need to, again, the similar thing, right? Enter that bundle ID on the Twinr portal and publish your application changes to the production. And next thing you need to do is to set up iOS signing information as well, which is pretty simple, and I'll be covering that part as well in this webinar. Create application on App Store Connect, because we directly submit your application to your TestFlight account. So this is required step again, right? And then you can request a new build. Once it will be completed, it will give you an IPA file if you want to use it. Otherwise, by default, automatically we will be submitting your application to your App Store Connect account that you can later on submit for the review as well. And the last one is to set up your metadata information like application information, screenshots, and everything. Okay, so these are the main steps required, and most of the steps are actually very easy to do, and the remaining other steps are actually automated. So there is nothing like, I would say that it will take around maybe 10 minutes to build your application and publish it to the production finally. Okay, so I think without wasting any time, let's start with the demo. And this is kind of my favorite part in the webinar. Okay, so let me start with the demo here. Okay, so here we will assume that you already have your application completed. You did all the testing. You have all the setup done already, right? And you have your subscription purchased as well, because uh, if you want to publish your application on Play Store and App Store accounts, the subscription is also required. So I have one application created here for myself, right? And in this application, I already purchased a standard subscription, which will allow me to publish for both Android and iOS. So yeah, let's go ahead. As I have mentioned about our first step will be to set up Android package name and iOS bundle identifiers. Okay, so to do that, I will go to the branding section here. And under the branding section, I have iOS bundle ID and Android package name field here. So under the
So
iOS
under the
bundle,
iOS,
as I have mentioned before, that we need to create iOS bundle ID beforehand, and for Android we don't need to do that. Okay, so what I'll do, let's first create iOS bundle ID, and then we will enter both of these information together. Okay, now to create iOS bundle ID, you will need to go to your developer.apple.com account, right? And then if you didn't purchase the Apple developer program, then you will need to purchase that as well, which will be $99 per year. Okay, so you can directly purchase it from developer.apple.com website. There will be an option to purchase it. Okay, once you purchase it, it will give you an option to log in there, and then click on the account menu here on the side. Okay, so let me click on the account here, and under the account we have a certificates, identifiers, and profile menu. Under this menu we have identifiers menu here, so click on that. And under the identifiers, I will click on this blue button, plus button here, to create a new one. Okay, now I am releasing an application, so basically I will select app IDs and then continue. Here I will select app, do not select app clip. Okay, and then continue. Under the description, you just write down a description of this bundle identifier, which is for your purpose. So I'm writing like webinar 3 demo ID, and then home.twinr.webinar. Okay, that's what the bundle identifier I'm creating here. Now everything is done. The next step is, for example, if you have enabled push notification in your application, right, then you need to enable the push notification capabilities under this list here. So if we go bottom of the list, here it is. Just need to select this option that I want to enable push notification for this application. So enable it. If you don't have a push notification enabled, then just skip that part. Okay, and then click continue and verify that everything is correct. Your bundle ID is correct, there is no spelling mistakes, and webinar 3 demo ID is your description here, and that's it. Then after, click register here, and you have your new bundle identifier created here. Okay, now let's copy this ID. Okay, com.twinr.webinar, go to the Twinr portal again and enter it under the iOS bundle ID. Okay, perfect. Now I will be entering similar package name into the Android as well, because I want to keep it similar for both Android and iOS. Now, usually, what's the standard, like how you should select your bundle identifier? So for example, if your website is twinr.com, right, then your bundle identifier should be something like com.twinr.app maybe, or whatever it is, right? So that's what the idea behind creating bundle identifiers. And also for the bundle identifiers, it is required to be at least one dot separator. So basically, for example, if I'll just write com and try to update it, it's not gonna work, because that's not allowed on App Store and Play Store. Okay, there should be at least one dot separator here, and it must start with the character and not any digit, right? And only underscore is allowed as a special character. No any other special characters are allowed. Okay, perfect. So now we have created this bundle ID, Android package name for both of them. Let's update this information. So we are all done here, right? So now the next step will be to publish our changes to the production. So for that, I'll go to the screens menu here. I'll verify that everything is correct. I assume that before you are publishing to the production, okay, you have verified, you have tested your application, that everything is working fine, and this is what you want as a first version of your application. Okay, so let me do that as well. I am publishing my changes to the production here, which is done, configuration updated successfully, and that's it, done. Publish to production step is done now. Okay, now the next part is a build. So as I said before, that we have a new feature where you can request a build signing information from Twinr directly. You don't need to upload it manually. Before you had to upload that information manually, and you had to create it manually as well, right? So now in the new process, okay, you have an option here that missing build signing information, you can add that. So once I'll click on the add button here, there are two different options here. Either I can request a new key. Okay, so we have already provided a description that we will generate a new key for you, and you should select this option if you are releasing this application for the first time. So for example, if you already have your old application on the Play Store and you will be uploading a new application on top of that, then this option is not for you. Then you should go for the next option, which is upload your own key. Okay, because when you release one application on Play Store, okay, so whatever key you had used to sign that application, next time you need to use the similar key to sign that application if you want to update on top of that. Okay, so we have provided both the options here. If you will click on this option, then again it will give you a form here, right, which you can fill up with your existing key. If you don't want it, then basically just click on the auto generator new key. Once I'll auto generate a new key, it's gonna take, yeah, see, it's gonna take maybe 10 seconds or 15 seconds maximum, and then after your key is ready. Now it had filled all the build signing information automatically, and you see now you don't need to do anything. Okay, now after you had created this information, still, for example, if you want to update your existing key, you can still click on the update button, right, and update it. Or if the key is not working in any situation, for example, then you can again request a new key if you want. Okay, perfect. Now, as I said, that this key is really important part of the application signing process. That means you should always download it, right, and store it somewhere safe. Obviously, we have it stored on our side as well, securely, but I would highly recommend doing it from your side as well. So in the future, if you need it for any purpose, you can have it under your safe places as well. Perfect. So that being said, when I click on the download button, okay, it's gonna provide me two different files here. One of them is .jks file, which is the actual key file, and another one is the text file with all the information here, that what's the key alias is that we have used, we have created automatically, key password and store password. So in future, if you want to build an application and you want to sign it, then basically you need these four information, one key and three information that I have mentioned here. And using that information, you will be able to sign your application from your side as well manually. Okay, now that being said, we are done with the application build signing information process. We have provided the package name and everything. We have published to production and all those things, right? So first step is to set up a package name. Second is to publish to production. Third is to set up the signing information. And the next one is to just request a new build. So once you will request a new build, it will start building it, right? And it will start running that process. And as soon as it's available, it will give you two different files here, which is APK and IPA file. So while it is running, okay, in the meantime, let's set up the iOS signing information as well. And we will revisit this Android section again for the publishing to Play Store account. Okay, so now let me go to the iOS here. Now, for the iOS, basically we need to provide this for information. Okay, so how we can create that information? To do that, you can again go to the developer.apple.com. Okay, and let me go to my membership again. Okay, perfect. And then we have a App Store Connect option here. So click on this one, apps option, or maybe directly users and access option. But let's go to the apps first. Okay, so here you can see I have all of my applications available here. Now I'll go to the users and access menu under this one. Okay, under the keys menu, I will create a new key. Okay, clicking on that plus button. So I will say that Twinr webinar demo key, and access level must be developer. It can be either developer or admin, but at least developer permission is required here. Okay, so that's it. You just create the new key, provide it a name, give it access, and generate it. And your work is done here. Basically, it will allow you to download an API key. So download this key, okay, which will be .pet file. That's what we need. We have a key ID as well here. We have a issuer ID as well here, and we need one more information, which is team ID. So I'll let you know how to get it. Okay, so first thing first, let's go to our signing information and upload this key, which is .pet file. Now let me copy the key ID, which is this one. Okay, and enter it here. Now let's copy the issuer ID and enter it here. Now let's get the team ID as well. So basically for the team ID, what you need to do, you need to go to developer.apple.com again, and under your account, okay, so you will be able to get the team ID. Yeah, there it is. They have recently changed the UI here for the developer account. So yeah, there is the team ID here. So we just need to copy this ID, and there it is. And we are done with the iOS signing information as well, right? So that's pretty simple. Again, once you upload this information, okay, you are done. And now if we go to the build history, then we will be able to request a new build for iOS as well. So now let me go ahead and request a new build for iOS as well. So once it will be completed, it will give us one IPA file, right? But before actually this one, what we need to do, we need to create an application on App Store Connect as well. Because as I said that we are going to upload an IPA file to your account automatically, right? So that means we need one application here as well. So if you go to appstoreconnect.apple.com and under the apps menu, click a new app, click on this plus button and new app. Platform will be iOS, obviously. Name will be Twinr webinar demo. Primary language can be English for me, right? And bundle identifier. So basically you need to select the bundle identifier that we had created, which is com.twinr.webinar, right? And usually SKU must be, you can use SKU similar to bundle identifier. So com.twinr.webinar here as well. Okay, and under the user access is basically how do you want to provide accesses to your users, right? Whatever you have invited to your accounts. So I'm currently giving a full access and create it. So once I'll create it, okay, it will be listed here, Twinr webinar demo, and that's it. Now we need to wait until this process gets finished. Okay, once it will be finished, basically our IPA file will be available under our account directly. We will be able to see it under TestFlight here. Okay, perfect. Now we are done with the iOS requesting a build. We are done with the Android requesting a build. So now the next thing is, let's go to Android again and see if our application is updated. Okay, perfect. So you see now we have two different files here, APK file and AAB file. Okay, now for example, after you have created an application, okay, you must be using our preview application to preview it, that how does it look like in a real device and all those things. Okay, but for example, if you want to test the final product, that finally how your application will look like, okay, where without our preview application, so how you can do that? So you just download this APK file, Okay, and then you can install this APK file directly in your Android mobile. Okay, now there are two different ways to do it. Either you can upload it to Google Drive or anywhere, any storage space that you have, right? Upload it there, and then basically, sorry about the disturbance here. Yeah, upload it there, and then basically you will be able to directly install it in your Android devices. Okay. The next thing will be either you can use one of the service which is div.com. Okay, which here you need to upload your APK file. Just drag and drop here. Okay, and it will give you one URL. So let them finish the process. Yeah, so it will give you an URL like this. Just copy this URL and open it in your Android mobile, and it will allow you to install an APK file in your Android mobile again. Yeah, so I would highly recommend doing this, because before you release your application to the store, please test your final product, that how does it look like. Because in the preview application you won't be able to preview the launch screen, right? If you have uploaded your own launch screen here, then you won't be able to see that how the launch screen is working. Preview application doesn't support that as of now. Okay, so to test all these things, and also the push notification and everything, right, you can use this APK file for the testing purpose. Now AAB file will be used to submit to our Play Store account. Okay, so now let's download this AAB file as well, and let's take a look at how we can submit this application to our Play Store account. Okay, so to do that, I assume that you already have your google.play.com console account. If not, then what you can do, Google Developer Console, search about this, and search about this console.developers.google.com. Okay, click on this link here. Sorry, not this one. This is a Google Cloud, Google Play Developer Console. Let me be very specific with them. Yeah, there you go, Google Play Console. Okay, so if you didn't purchase it already, then you need to purchase it, which is like $25 for lifetime. Okay, purchase this account, and once you purchase it, you will be able to see this kind of portal from them. Okay, now what we need to do here, first thing we need to do here is that we need to create an application under a Play Store. Okay, so let's create it, which is Twinr webinar demo. Okay, my application default language will be English US, and then application or game. So your application type, write down, select your application type here. It can be either app or game. And then also mention that you want to provide this application for free or paid. So for now I'm selecting free, so this one, and then conform to these declarations here and create an app. Okay, so once you will create an application, okay, you will be able to see this nice UI from them. Now what you first need to do, once you go to the dashboard, they will give you that to set up your application you need to finish this task. Basically those are all the metadata information, right? And also some information about your application, your privacy policies and content rating of the application, your target audience, and some other declarations that you need to do. What I'm going to discuss right now here, that how you can upload your AAB file on your Play Store account. Okay, so for that, I'll go to the production here, and under the production, I'll create a new release. So once I'll create a new release, it will ask me to upload a file here, which is this AAB file. So I'll drag it here. So it started uploading it. Once it will be uploaded, the release name will be available here, which is, again, it's not a public name. It's a private for your use. Now you need to provide the release note. So whatever the release note you want to provide, okay, you should always use this part, and you should be very serious about it, because all of your users will be able to see this release note, like what you are providing in this particular version. So if you are fixing any bugs or you are providing any new feature or something, you should mention here. And on the Play Store as well. So for example, if we look at the Play Store here, right, then it will be displayed under what's new section here. Okay, so I would say that we should consider it a serious information for our user, and we should be very serious about it as well. And again, it will be contributing to your application SEO and marketing purpose as well. Okay, perfect. So for now, I am writing down initial release for my users, right? And then release name, as you can see, that it's already being filled up. My file has been uploaded successfully. So everything is fine. There is no issues here. Okay. And once you do that, just save it and review the release. Everything is fine here. Here it says 6 errors because we didn't completed all of the required steps yet, privacy policy and all those declarations. So that's okay. We need to do that as well before we release it. Okay, so now we have uploaded it successfully. So once we will be ready, basically, once you will upload all the metadata information, and once you click on the release button, the start rollout to production button will be enabled for you. Okay, so after that, you just need to click on this button and submit it to the review for Play Store. And once it will be reviewed, your application will be live on your on the Play Store directly, and your user will be able to download it. Okay, so there it is. That's the step that how we can release an Android application on Play Store account. Okay, so basically we have covered all 4 steps: provide the package name, publish changes to production, request an request an Android build, and also provide the signing information. And the last one is to publish it on the Play Store account. Okay, now let's go to our portal again and let's take a look at the iOS application. It's still ongoing. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll visit another application that I already have here, and let me go to the app build and iOS. And there it is. So once your application will be completed, okay, you will have an IPA file like this. Okay, so what now we need to do, let's go to the App Store Connect again, and let me go to the similar application under my account. Okay, so let's use actually plant course and not the pop board. Okay, this one. Perfect. So I have the IPF file here, but as you can see, my IPF file will be already available on my TestFlight. So you see, as you can see here. So you don't need to do anything. Once it will be available here, okay, and if it says that missing compliance, just click on the manage button. And if your application is currently using any kind of encryption or anything, then select yes. If not, then just select no, and that's it. Start internal testing. Now, what does the internal testing means? So for example, once your application is available in the test flight, now similar to Android, you want to test the final iOS application in your real iPhone devices. Okay, so for that, what you can do, you can just go to the test flight option, and under the internal testing, create a new internal testing group. Okay, so what I'll do now, I'll give like Twinr webinar group. Okay, that's what my group name will be. And for every new build, so for example, next time when I request a new build and it will be available on the test flight, do you want to directly distribute that new build to this group or not? That's what this option basically says. So if you want to do it, just select this option. If you don't, then just disable this option. Okay, so I'm keeping it selected for now. Then click on the create button, and as you can see that we have this group created, and we have the one build file available here for the testing, but there are no testers here. Okay, so what you can do, you can click on this plus button and select all the users that you have invited to your App Store account. Now, if you don't see any users here except yourself, you will be able to see yourself for sure, but if you don't see any other user here, right, so first of all, let me select all of them as a testers. So I'll click add, and all these users will be invited to your application directly. Okay, so once they are invited, basically they will get an email saying that a new application available for your testing purpose, and they will need to install a TestFlight application. So TestFlight AppStore. Basically, you will need to install this application in your mobile. okay, TestFlight application. Install this application in your mobile, and in the email you will get one link that click on this link to install an application. Click on that link, it will directly open a TestFlight, and there will be one button to install an application. Just click on that and that's it, you are done with that. So let's see that how it looks like. Okay, so as you can see in the screenshot here, all of your application will be listed like this. Okay, when you click on any of the application, there will be get button. Click on that button and it will install an application under your iPhone device directly. Okay. uh, okay, so that's about how you can use TestFlight. And now onwards, because we selected that all the future builds should be available for this group as well, so every time if you go to Twinr and request a new build from here, right, they will directly get notified. All of your internal testers will get an email that there is a new build available for the testing. Okay, so that's how basically you can upload an IPA file. You don't need to upload it. Basically, you can invite your application users, your internal group users for the testing purpose as well on TestFlight, right? And then finally you can test out everything, that everything is working fine on iOS device. And then let's see that how we can release the application. Okay, so again we go to App Store Connect. Here we need to go to App Store menu, right? And under the App Store menu, we have few information here. As you can see that we need to provide different kind of screenshots here. So that's the first metadata information. So basically we need to go through all these options here: app information, pricing and availability, app privacy, app review. App review is not required right now, and then this one as well. Okay, so once you will fill up all this information here, under the build section you will need to select a build, that okay, which build you want to release for this version. Okay, so what I can do right now, let me see if our webinar application is available and uploaded already. Oh, there it is. So let me take a look under our App Store account, my applications, Twinr webinar demo, and if I'll go to TestFlight, you see that application is being uploaded automatically and it's currently in the processing. So once it will finish the processing, it will be available for the testing, right? Okay, now we go to App Store again, and under the prepare for submission option here, okay, we have a build menu here. So once that build will complete the processing, you will be able to select that build here. Okay, and just select that build, fill up all the metadata information, and that's it. You will be just click on add for review button, and that application will be submitted for the Apple review, and you are done with that step as well. Okay, that's pretty much simple, I would say. And also, if you find out any issues with this process, okay, we have covered everything in the webinar. Plus, we also have an extensive documentation on that as well. All the step-by-step processes that how you can do. So you can just follow those steps, and then everything will work. You will be able to do all the setups out of the box. Perfect. So that's all about the demo here, that how you can publish your application on Android and App Store account, right? Now, moving forward, I want to discuss about a few more applications that has been built upon Twinr and also successfully released to Play Store and App Store accounts. One of them is Pricey. So it's an e-commerce industry, and our customer is from UAE. Their application is currently live on App Store right now. Another one is Mrudgand, which is agriculture community, and the customer is from India, and his application is currently live on Play Store. Okay, and again, as I said, that to be contributed to our giveaway, right? Visit those different links here, provide some reviews on those platforms, your honest reviews, I would say, right? And then you will have a chance to like win a free lifetime deal from us. That being said, we are coming here to our next webinar, which will be on very important topic, that application marketing strategies for your first 10K downloads, right? So now if we consider that you have already created your application, it's live on the Play Store and App Store account, now what? Now obviously you want your users to download the applications, right? You want your users to download your application because that's where you will be gaining something. And once they will download it, you can utilize all those users for the marketing purpose and everything. So in the next webinar, we will be discussing about all those different strategies, that how you can increase app downloads, right? And we will have one marketing expert with us, Chirag Gojaria. He will basically explain all the things, that different marketing tactics and SEO strategies for the mobile applications and all those things. Yep. Okay, so again, floor is open for all the questions and answers, and I would say that yeah, start asking your questions. If you have any question in this process, I'm here to answer all of them. Okay, so I have a question from JB here. Do you have, or will you have, a way to generate screen capture for iOS if you do not have iPhone? So um, we do provide one on-demand service where $29 on-demand service, where we will be providing you all the screenshots that you require. Okay, all the screenshot for Android and iOS mobile applications, iPhone devices, and for the Android tablet and Android mobile devices. But as of now, we do not have any direct service on the platform that you can capture screenshots automatically on the Twinr platform. But you can utilize our on-demand services for that. And I would highly recommend everyone to register for our next webinar, because in that webinar, we will be discussing about application marketing strategies. And I think that's really important for getting more users and more downloads for your applications. So here, Mohsin asking me one question, that how we can run test case here before release. So what do you mean by test cases? I don't really understand that. Which kind of test cases you are talking about? And you can write down your questions in the chat here directly. Okay, sir, you are talking about a giveaway. So our giveaway winners will be announced on following Monday, which will be next Monday. So yes, Mohammed, if you are asking about, like, I'm not sure what kind of test cases you are talking about, because uh, basically on Twinr we do not provide source code, right? So you don't need to worry about all those test cases and everything. But for example, if you have any manual test cases written for your application itself, then you can just install application under your devices and you can directly execute those test cases if you want. Perfect. I hope today the information that I gave you related to application release is good enough that you guys can do it by yourself. If not, then we are always available for your help. You can always reach out to via our chat session, or you can set up a meeting with our team. It's good and informative session. Thanks, Mohsin, for that. Yeah, we are happy that we are here to provide a lot of good information for you and making your life easier to, like, releasing those apps and all those things. But yeah, anyway, if you guys have any other request for any other request for the documentation, that okay, this particular part of the documentation is not clear, we need some more information on that. Or for example, if you want to request us any webinar on any specific topic as well, let us know, and we will plan that webinar as well. Yes, JB, we have all the webinars recorded previously, and I think you must have got an email from us as well with the recording link. But if not, you can always go to our YouTube channel and you will find it there. Thank you, Jaideep, for a good words here.